And this is big breaking news coming in at this hour. Sources telling Mirror Now that MJ Akbar is likely to be asked to step down. This after multiple women accused him of sexual assault and misdemeanor. Meenakshi Bhanja joining us now on the phone line for more details. Meenakshi, so this is extremely significant news coming in at this hour. Sources telling Mirror Now that MJ Akbar might be asked to step down once he's back from Nigeria.
Well, absolutely, Rishi, this is huge and very significant given the fact that heat was mounting even on the government, and it was coming under a lot of scrutiny for maintaining what was being believed or seen as silence, because viewers will recall there were visuals of Sushma Swaraj being confronted with uncomfortable questions at events, and therefore for a government which has made Beti Bachao Andolan one of its flagship programs to be seen on a sticky wicket on this one, because like you correctly referred to, multiple accounts emerging of not just one or two instances, but detailed accounts of violations pertaining to MJ Akbar when he occupied positions of power as editors in various organizations. And this has now contributed to the government really conducting very serious deliberations on his future. And at a time when we are heading for Lok Sabha polls and when 4 states are poll-bound, Rishi, as we speak, assembly polls are slated in 4 states of the union, the government really could not be seen to not be doing anything. So therefore, as we speak, MJ Akbar, in his capacity as the junior minister of external affairs, is touring Nigeria. But yes, indeed, all indications that upon his return to India, which is Friday, he is going to be asked to step down in the backdrop of mounting criticism against the junior foreign minister in the union cabinet, and also the government really keen to showcase its bona fides ahead of Lok Sabha elections.
Absolutely, Meenakshi, and as you mentioned, this perhaps would be seen as a damage control mode by the government just ahead of election season. It is time for the government to walk the talk, to showcase, as you mentioned, that they do believe in women empowerment and they do strictly go by the motto Beti Bachao, Beti Badhao. And this is the time to really step up and take action. Now, are we picking up anything else from the sources within the government on how soon could this happen, and has this been intimated to MJ Akbar himself so far?
Well, the fact that this is something now which has come into the public domain. Remember, MJ Akbar, as we speak, is not in Delhi. He is touring Nigeria in his official capacity. But indeed, the government did not want to be seen to be doing nothing. Of course, this will all play out once he returns to Delhi, which is Friday, we're being able to understand. But it could play out over the weekend. We do not have a confirmation on the time frame. But clearly, the government has not done anything. That is not the perception that the government would want to go out at this juncture. And therefore, while the Minister of External Affairs a couple of days back did not reply to any direct questions when they were posed to her, but subsequent to that, more accounts have emerged in public domain, which we saw yesterday another detailed first-person account of someone who has worked under MJ Akbar. And thereafter, in the evening yesterday, we saw another detailed account of a person from Kolkata who has worked under MJ Akbar. And all this has contributed to the government really now hastening the process of wanting to arrive at a conclusion and give closure to all these questions that have been arising about purportedly the government not acting or not doing enough. So that is the perception the government really wishes to dispel. And for that to happen, it is important that something is also seen have been done on the government's part. And therefore, all accounts that once MJ Akbar returns from this trip where he's representing India abroad in his official capacity, the decision of the government to ask him to step down will be communicated formally, and thereafter events are going to play out. Urvashi.
And so this is extremely significant, isn't it, Meenakshi? Because this is the first time a high-profile government official would be asked to step down in case that happened. And we've seen the past few days how senior journalists, have been asked to step down. MJ Akbar himself, a former journalist, has been accused by multiple women of misbehavior. And now from Bollywood, the movement has now shifted also to bureaucracy, to Lutyens Delhi. At this point in time, what's most disturbing is the fact a stoic silence coming in from the government itself. As you mentioned, Sushma Swaraj herself ducked the question when it was posed to her. We haven't heard any significant voices coming in from the government acknowledging this entire incident. Even MJ Akbar has so far not commented at all on all these allegations.
Well, that is the reason, Rishi, the decision-making had to happen. And that is the reason the government wants to be seen to be doing the right thing on this one. Because it was not just some stray, sporadic allegations. These were horrific, detailed first-person accounts. Yesterday, Ghazala Bahab, who was a junior journalist, who started working under MJ Akbar and was a budding journalist at that point in time. Then in the evening, Shutapa Paul. All these accounts have contributed somewhere in the public. They have spilled out in the public domain, and they've detailed the harassment that they have undergone. And therefore, for the government, it was very, very crucial to be seen to be doing the right thing. And yes, indeed, while Sushma Swaraj may not at that point in time have taken direct questions, but clearly the government on this one wants to be seen to be doing the right thing at the right moment. And because, as we speak, MJ Akbar is touring a foreign land in his capacity as junior external affairs minister, and all this is happening here back home in the backdrop. Therefore, perhaps the time that has gone by was utilized by the government to really deliberate and arrive at its own conclusions. And as we speak, yes, all indications that upon his return, he will be asked to step down, citing personal reasons we are being given to understand. And clearly, for the government, the flagship program, one of the flagship programs of the government has been Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. And given the fact that the timing of all this is something so crucial, the government really is very keen to be seen to have done the right thing.